It takes some experience, really, to be good in endurance racing. There's a lot of fast drivers, there's a lot of good teams. But what makes a team a winner team is if you get everything together. And that's where BMW is good at, and that's where the team Rahal is good at. I think that's why they're so successful.
We race races that are 24 hours long, 12 hours long. I have to hand the car off to my teammate. He has to hand it off back to me.
If you're driving with one other guy or two other guys, or at Daytona 3 other guys, there's 4 of you, you know, that guy doing well is in your best interest.
Being a sprint racer, I never realized how crazy endurance racing is. You're always overtaking someone, you're always being overtaken by someone in a faster class.
I don't think there's one way to win an endurance race, but you sure can lose it a lot of different ways.
But the whole idea is to not make mistakes as a driver, as a team, spend as little time in the pits as possible. And if you do all that, you don't even have to be the fastest car in the race. It's all about, it's all about being there every lap, every hour, every minute. It's not the tortoise and the hare, but it's close.
You want to put your experienced guys in the beginning. They've seen it all. They're not influenced by the emotion or the charge of the whole event and the flyover with the planes and the balloons and the skydivers. Pretty soon you can get so much stuff in your head that you're not focused on the racing anymore.
Starting a race is an honor. I mean, I've started a lot of times for BMW. I started Le Mans for BMW, that's an honor.
It's always a big emotion when you see all the fans waiting for the race to start, and everybody worked so long.
You know, there's a lot of cars out there. You don't want to lose position. At the same time, you've got 24 hours ahead of you. You don't want to be the idiot to put it in the fence.
First couple of laps are just nuts. And then when everybody sort of clears out, it's head down rhythm. Just banging off laps, one after another after another. Try to be as consistent as possible.
Be patient at the right time. Be aggressive at the right time. Do the right things at the right time.
Yeah, you know, you're with 70 other cars, so that's, you know, a lot of drivers, maybe 3 or 4 drivers per car. Sometimes you come across a car and it's good, it's being driven well. The next time, when you're next in, you come across the same car and the guy never sees you, and you know, you've got to learn to sort of work and understand that it's a moving target all the time.
You know what, I think endurance racing over the years have become completely different. I still remember the times, you know, when I grew up in long distance races, that at that time the goal was to bring the car to the finish.
You really had to take care of them because they weren't as robust as the cars are today.
You don't have to watch out for the equipment anymore. Usually the equipment is so good that you go flat out the whole race.
It's a 24-hour sprint race, you know, it really is. You're at 10 tenths
and you know, we're riding curbs, we're riding everything, which like in the past you really had to take care of. So we are searching for the performance, lap by lap, after lap by lap.
A little bit softer bar, the front or the car's rolling more.
When you get to the end of your first couple stints, you start reporting back to the engineering team what we have to do. The next phase, adjustment phase. Preparing for the center of the race, starting to improve your car. What can we do to improve it? If we need to make some adjustments, we start doing that in pit stops. And it's all a preparation phase for the finish, which is the last 2 to 3 hours. Then it's race phase. Then it's, we better have done all our work, position ourselves properly on the track to be at the front, make the car as good as we can make it so that it's ready to do battle. And then the team just has to just click off some of the fastest pit stops they've done the entire race. And then the driver has to be perfect. And that's what's going to win a 12-hour race.
Well, darkness depends on the place. When we go to Daytona, there's a lot of lights there. It's not all that dark, and it's always a relief to see the sun rise at Daytona because it's such a long night. But when you come to Sebring, it's a completely new challenge. The sun goes down, it's in your eyes for a little bit, and you think you can't wait for the sun to get out of your eyes. But driving Sebring at night is a real challenge. They put up some lights around the track, but there's sections that are completely dark.
You may have not driven at that track in the dark, maybe done 3 laps to qualify, and Suddenly you're out there and it's brake lights, there's 70 cars.
You know, your braking points look different, your turn-in points look different, and all of a sudden there's curbs where you've never seen curbs before because your turn and you know, your turn-in point was too early.
The stint in the dark is very different from the stint in the daytime. You know, you have the vision in the day, you can look ahead, you can anticipate, you can see your marker points. In the dark, you're relying on instinct. Everything becomes, you know, all the colours, you lose the colour, you lose the contrast. It really is pure instinct at that moment. And you've got traffic and lights and distractions and concentration. And
If you're in the top 1, 2, 3 of a long race, that's when you start hearing the noises. Daytona, those ghosts were coming out of everywhere.
I mean, for sure, you get to the end of a 24-hour race or a 12-hour race, and you're hearing everything. Your senses go on overload. You're like, I think I felt a vibration. I think I hear something. The engine's off song. You know, everything. You feel, you hear everything. You smell things. I think I smell radiator fluid. I smell oil. You know, whatever. So you're always like on a high alert. And then you're racing, and you're getting passed by faster cars or whatever. So
when you get down to the last 2 to 3 hours of the race, that's when it's really go time.
The end of the race is always high intensity. I love it because, I mean, I always want to finish. I want to be in the battle. I want to be in the mix. And
You are nose to tail with somebody battling and battling. I mean, we've battled here to the last lap year after year after year. So
we've been lucky here at BMW. We've had some really great races to the finish, especially the 12 hours of Sebring, where, you know, one year we came down to a last lap pass after 12 hours, fighting in the dark, you know, having issues, still, you know, fighting our way through it. Last lap pass for the win to get the checkered flag for 12 hours. And, you know, we've been lucky. We've done it twice, 2 years in a row we did it. So, you know, it just feels really good, you know, especially when you get to finish, but even if you're not finishing, to do that distance and go 24 hours or 12 hours and, you know, maybe it's up at 3 in the morning you're driving or 6 in the morning, you know, it's difficult. And when you can say, yeah, I made it through that, and you're all high-fiving in the race, man, it's awesome.
To win an endurance race, you got to think of the group, not just of you. That's why the guys who are successful, you know, they've proven themselves time and time again at events like Sebring, at events like, you know, Daytona, Le Mans, what have you. That those are the kinds of guys that can be entrusted. You know, it takes a special person.
it's in our DNA here. We know exactly how to do it. We've all done it for a long time, and all my teammates are pretty good at it.